Hello everyone. In our last video, we discussed about the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction which is mediated by IgE antibody. We know that there are four different type of hypersensitivity reactions which is classified by Jell and Coombe. And out of the four, first three type of hypersensitivity reaction is generally occur with the help of antibody or with the help of humoral branch of the immunity, while last type of reaction occur with the help of cell mediated branch of the immune system. Now in my last video I discussed in detail about the mechanism by which type 1 hypersensitivity reaction occur. The most important step of the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction is sensitization of the mast cell or blood basophil cell and then degranulation of the that particular cell. Okay, what is degranulation? If suppose this is mast cell, the cell have different type of granules which contain active mediators like histamine, and at the time of hypersensitivity reaction type 1 hypersensitivity, these granules get diffused into the plasma membrane and the content which is present inside the granule is released out of the cell, and due to this release of the toxic downstream mediators type 1 hypersensitivity reaction occur. Now in this video I am going to discuss the actual mechanism, actual cell signaling pathway that occur inside the mast cell or basophil cell which ultimately lead to degranulations of this granule. Okay, one of the most important stage of the reaction, and this is generally start after entry of the allergen inside the body. In my previous video I discussed in detail about the different type of allergens that lead to type 1 hypersensitivity. Okay, we know that when any allergen enter inside the body, it will going to activate B cell, B lymphocyte, then B lymphocyte divide into plasma cell and memory cell. Plasma cell produce IgE type of antibody in excess. So characteristic feature of type 1 hypersensitivity is high concentration of the IgE antibody. Actually allergen switch plasma cell towards IgE, so the plasma cell only produce IgE antibody in excess, and then the produced antibody will going to coat themselves on the mast cell or blood basophil cell. Suppose this is IgE antibody and the antibody get attached on the mast cell or blood basophil cell with the help of these receptors. The receptor present on the mast cell are called Fc epsilon receptor. There are two type of receptors which generally present on this cell like Fc epsilon R1 and R2, out of which R1 receptor have 1000 times more affinity for IgE antibody than R2 receptor. Once this antibody are produced in excess by the plasma cell, the antibody will going to attach on the mast cell with the help of this receptor. And once the antibody get attached on the mast cell, this cell is called as sensitized cell. Okay, and if the same allergen enter another time, then degranulation of the mast cell occur. What is degranulation? We know that such type of granules is present in these cells, and the granule contain active mediators of the hypersensitivity like histamine, prostaglandin, leukotrienes or some cytokines. And once this cell release this granules content into the surrounding, it will going to lead type 1 hypersensitivity. That means for the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction to occur, the degranulations of this granule is necessary. And in this lecture I am going to focus on the actual pathway that occur inside the mast cell that lead to degranulations. Okay, if the mast cell have the Fc epsilon R1 and receptor, and the receptor have IgE type of antibody. Now I am going to enlarge this portion here. Okay, I am going to show how exactly the signal transduction occur in the mast cell that finally lead to degranulation. Okay, if any allergen or antigen enter in the body, the antigen will going to bind to IgE antibody, and due to binding of the IgE antibody to allergen, cross-linking of the IgA antibody occur that lead to start of the pathway inside the cell. So remember that this is the pathway which is occurring here inside the mast cell or basophil cell. For understanding purpose, I have divided the whole pathway into different stages like stage number 1, 2, stage number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, this is the pathway which ultimately end with fusion of the granule with the plasma membrane and release of the content of the granule outside. This is called degranulation. So end result of the entire pathway is degranulation. Okay, and due to degranulation, type 1 hypersensitivity reaction occur. The receptor which is present on the mast cell, here I have shown. Okay, the receptor having 3 important type of polypeptide chain like alpha, beta and gamma, and out of which gamma chain and beta chain show special type of a protein tyrosine kinase enzyme at their cytoplasmic tail. Okay, so here I have shown you first receptor and second receptor. Because two antibodies are required, two IgE antibodies are required for type 1 hypersensitivity reaction at least. Okay, so first antibody will going to bind to this receptor here. You can see IgE antibody connected with alpha chain of Fc epsilon R1 receptor, and second IgE antibody connected to the second alpha chain of the same type of receptor. So this is the receptor which is composed of Fc epsilon R1 type and having alpha, beta and gamma chains. Okay, so this is receptor number 1 and receptor number 2. Receptor number 1 connected with one IgE antibody, while receptor number 2 having second IgE antibody. And when any allergen come, it will going to bind to a fragment antigen binding site of the antibody, and this allergen will going to cross link both the antibodies. Once cross linking is complete due to allergen, the pathway will going to start. Okay, the first step of the reaction is activation of the protein tyrosine kinase PTK molecule, which is present on the cytoplasmic domain of gamma and beta chain of the receptor. Okay, once this PTK get activated due to cross linking of the allergen, then this PTK will going to phosphorylate another protein which is present in the cell membrane called phospholipase C. And due to phosphorylation of this phospholipase C by PTK, ultimately the phospholipase C will going to activate, and the substrate of this phospholipase C is PIP2. This is phosphoinositol 4,5 triphosphate or diphosphate, sorry. Okay, this PIP2 is the substrate of phospholipase C. Once this phospholipase C act on the PIP2, it will going to convert or break down PIP2 into DAG and IP3. Here I have shown you first product of the reaction of phospholipase C and PIP2 is diacyl glycerol and inositol 1,4,5 triphosphate. So these two products are produced due to action of this phospholipase C on PIP2. The DAG or diacyl glycerol which is produced going to act on phosphokinase C. Initially the phosphokinase C is present in inactive form, but after action of the DAG it will going to activate. Okay, this is PKC which is activated. Okay, and now this PKC will going to come in the picture. Okay, this is the first active product which is produced with the help of DAG and phospholipase C after entry of the allergen. Now the IP3 or inositol 4,5 triphosphate which is produced from PIP2 going to act on endoplasmic reticulum, the organ which is present in eukaryotic cell, either mast cell or basophil cell. This IP3 act on the endoplasmic reticulum, which ultimately lead to release of the calcium ion Ca2 plus, which is present in the endoplasmic reticulum in the cytoplasm. That means due to action of IP3, calcium ion release from the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Now this PKC, which is activated initially by DAG, and calcium ions which are released due to action of IP3, both combined together, and with the help of calcium ion, this phosphokinase C will going to act on the granules. This type of granules are already present in the mast cell. The granules contain number of mediators of the hypersensitivity like histamine. Due to action of the phosphokinase C, okay, the permeability of the granules to water and calcium ion increase. Okay, and due to which, due to entry of water inside the granules, size of granules is increased. And these granules are now ready to fuse with plasma membrane. Okay, because for degranulation, fusion of the granules with the plasma membrane is required. This PKC also help in assembly of microtubules and contraction of microfilament. Both these proteins are important in degranulation process. So this is the reaction number 1 and 2, okay, which is start from the PTK and finally end with increase the permeability of the granules for calcium and water. Okay. Now the third reaction also occur inside the plasma membrane when any allergen cross-link the IgE antibody on the surface of the mast cell. The special type of enzymes present close to gamma chain of the receptor get activated. The enzymes are phosphomethyltransferase 1 and phosphomethyltransferase 2. Both these enzymes have substrate PS, that is phosphatidylserine. The enzyme convert phosphatidylserine or PS into PE, that is phosphatidylethanol-amine. Okay, that means conversion of PS to PE is catalyzed by PMT1 and PMT2. Now the PE which is produced is methylated again by the same enzyme to produce phosphatidylcholine. Okay, so in this reaction, the reaction number 3, PS is converted into PC, that is phosphatidylcholine. And now this phosphatidylcholine, which is produced on the outer surface of the membrane, will going to produce ion channels or calcium channels on the plasma membrane. That means this phosphatidylcholine play important role of changing the permeability of the plasma membrane for calcium ions. And due to action of phosphatidylcholine on the membrane, calcium ions get entry inside the cell. Okay, and due to the reaction, due to entry of the calcium ions, now inside the mast cell, concentration of the calcium increase. Okay, so there are two mechanisms by which calcium ion concentration can be increased inside the mast cell. Number 1, due to formation of ion channel, and number 2, due to action of IP3 on the endoplasmic reticulum, which will going to release calcium. Okay, and both these first and second reaction ultimately lead to increase concentration of the calcium inside the mast cell. The calcium enter through ion channel will going to activate another enzyme which is associated with the plasma membrane. The enzyme is phospholipase A2. And this phospholipase A2 enzyme again act on phosphatidylcholine and break down phosphatidylcholine into lysophosphatidylcholine and arachidonic acid. Okay, that means when phospholipase A2 act on the PC, the reaction produce two different type of a product. Lyso-PC, that is lysophosphatidylcholine, and arachidonic acid. Okay, this lysophosphatidylcholine going to convert into fusogen, the molecule which is responsible for fusion of the granules into the plasma membrane, and degranulation. Okay, so ultimate result of this reaction is formation of fusogen, which will going to help in degranulation. Another product which is produced in the reaction number 3 is arachidonic acid, and this arachidonic acid immediately split into leukotrienes and prostaglandin D2. And we know that I have explained this in my previous video that leukotrienes and prostaglandin D2 are the active mediator of type 1 hypersensitivity. That means this molecule or this chemical will going to help in type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, so this is all about reaction number 3, reaction number 4 and reaction number 5. Now, due to cross linkage of the allergen with the IgE antibody, another enzyme which is present close to the alpha chain of the receptor get activated. Enzyme is adenylate cyclase. The substrate of this enzyme is AMP, and we know that the enzyme convert AMP into cyclic AMP. Okay, that means the adenylate cyclase enzyme after activation going to convert adenosine monophosphate into cyclic form of adenosine monophosphate, and cyclic AMP is required for conversion of inactive protein kinase, the enzyme which is present in the cytoplasm of the mast cell, in inactive form into active protein kinase. Okay, this is the enzyme which also going to play important role in degranulation. An enzyme get activated in reaction number 6 by adenylate cyclase enzyme, and after activation of the protein kinase enzyme, it will going to phosphorylate granules. Okay, that means it will going to transfer phosphate group on the granule, and due to transfer of the phosphate group, it will going to help in fusion of this granule with the plasma membrane. So end result of all this reaction is degranulations or release of the content of the granule outside the cell. Okay, this happen inside the mast cell, and due to which this granule which is present in the mast cell fuse with the plasma membrane, and the content of the granule release outside the cell, that ultimately lead to type 1 hypersensitivity. So in this reaction, I have explained in detail about the degranulation process which occur inside the mast cell or basophil cell at the time of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. The mechanism of the degranulation is generally divided into 7 important stages. The reaction start when any allergen molecule enter inside the body and cross-link IgE antibody present on a special type of a receptor, and these receptors are called Fc epsilon R1 receptor. Why we call them as a epsilon? Because IgE antibody have heavy chain of epsilon type. Okay, and once allergen cross-link the IgE antibody, first reaction occur in which PTK enzymes get activated, that is protein tyrosine kinase enzyme. The enzyme will going to activate phospholipase C. Phospholipase C break down PIP2 into diacyl glycerol and inositol 1,4,5 triphosphate. DAG activate PKC enzyme, that is phosphokinase C, and IP3 act on endoplasmic reticulum, which ultimately release calcium ions. Now these PKC and calcium ion together act on the granules, which increase the permeability of the granules for the water molecule and calcium ion, and due to which the size of the granules increase and they become ready for fusion with the plasma membrane. The next reaction occur with the help of two enzymes, PMT1 and PMT2, that is phosphomethyltransferase 1 and 2. The substrate of enzyme is PS, that is phosphatidylserine. The enzyme convert PS into PE and finally PE to PC by methylation. PC is phosphatidylcholine. This phosphatidylcholine which is produced during the reaction going to form ion channel. Through this ion channel, calcium ion enter inside the mast cell. This calcium ion activate phospholipase A2 enzyme, which will going to break down PC into lyso-PC and arachidonic acid. Now this lyso-PC will going to convert into fusogen, which help in degranulation, while arachidonic acid immediately convert into leukotriene and prostaglandin D2, which are the active mediator of type 1 hypersensitivity. Now the last reaction occur in which adenylate cyclase enzyme present in the cell membrane get activated due to cross linkage, and the enzyme convert AMP into cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP require for conversion of inactive protein kinase into active protein kinase, and the activated protein kinase transfer phosphate group on the granules, which ultimately help in the degranulation process. So this is all about the process of sensitization of the mast cell and the mechanism by which degranulation of the granules occur in the mast cell. Thank you.